Welcome back, everybody. Woo! Welcome back to another Welcome to the J episode. I am your host, Jahenns Manigat, aka 12. I got a very special guest with me today. Before we get into that, make sure to like and subscribe to the Field of 68 Media Network. You guys know the deal. You get to listen to a whole bunch of different people repping their alma maters like I'm doing today. Go Jays, go always. But if you want more content from other guys representing their former schools, make sure to like and subscribe to the Field of 68 Media Network. I appreciate you guys so much for doing so already. My guest today, the 16th guest of season number 2 of the Welcome to the J podcast. He's a legend, an absolute legend in the Omaha community. He was my head coach for the Creighton-based Omaha Blue Crew TBT team this past summer. He's been instrumental in making sure that TBT actually comes to Omaha this upcoming summer. So we're going to give you a whole lot of information about that. Make sure you guys get your tickets. Make sure you're here to support the boys. He is the pride of North O, as always. 6'2", Jay Jonesy 5. What up, boy? Welcome to the J, bro.
For the introduction, man. I appreciate it. What's good?
Bro, I should say welcome back because you know you've been on this
Yeah, for
little
sure, man.
podcast of mine before. How you
Yeah,
doing,
man.
bro?
I get up when I can, man.
Mhm.
First I think it's dope, man. Shout out to the Field of 68 network. It's crazy. I mean, you giving people like yourself a platform to keep others informed, bro. Keep doing the good work on your part, man.
Shit, you know me, I'm trying. If the people want to hear me talk, I'm gonna talk. That's the way that I go about it. I think you kind of have a similar approach. You and I are big time talkers, like as far as even like talking shit in the locker room, trying to get everybody hyped up on the phone. We used to practice against each other, getting the best out of each other because of
Right.
talking trash and egging each other on. So I already know
Yeah.
what we're about to get into, bro. The people don't know though. If you guys like before you press pause right now and go back and listen to the episode from last year when Josh Jones was on, if you guys really want to have a good old laugh and just see two
Right.
homies just talking. So, man, you doing good? How's Omaha treating you?
Omaha is great, man. Obviously I got my son. He's almost 3.
Already.
Lefty, lefty.
Had to be. Had to be.
Yeah, man. So just being the dad and you know, uh got a new job, just still trying to impact the community in so many different ways, man. So I'm doing good.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of questions for you about like the stuff that you do in the community because I find it fascinating with how much you have on your plate, the time that you still have to go back and give back to yours and the people who helped raise you, your community,
Right.
especially North Omaha, who's always in need of help. So we're definitely going to get into that a little bit later. Before we fully dive into that, though, we got to talk about the Jays this past Saturday loss on the road to Providence 72-51. This was, of course, the first game that we've seen them play without Ryan Nembhard, who had that wrist injury.
Man,
He's
God.
already had surgery for it. I want to get your opinion on it. I talked about it on my podcast last week a little bit, but the Jays in their lead point guard, a freshman who has so much promise, who still has so much promise when
Right.
he recovers and comes back. What's your take on, what's going to happen with the Jays, especially like losing a point guard of his caliber?
Right. Well, for me, anytime something like that or just any injury or any type of adversity that goes on with our team, I'll automatically reflect back to our locker room days. And
Mhm.
I mean, you got to think about, like, aside from like what people see from play of this kid in practice, you got to see what type of kid he is in the locker room, what type of kid
Mhm.
he is in practice. I mean, it's a huge loss for our team because the spark that he is on his with his leadership, being the floor general, whatever, man, that's the same energy that he brought to every aspect of the game. So luckily we got Coach Mack, though. It comes down to coaching to me. I
Mhm.
know he'll find some type of way to just keep him rallying to go, but it was just tragic. Like, I couldn't even, like, I just turned my head. I feel bad for the
Yeah.
young fella.
I jumped off the couch and just ran to the other room when I saw, like, me, I'm queasy when it comes to injuries like that. It just kind of
Right.
reminds me of like, like the Paul George type of injuries, the Sean Livingston type of injuries, where you just, when you see it immediately, it just kind of,
Right.
at least for me, that's the reaction that I have. I just couldn't look at it. And
Yeah, exactly.
what it made me think of a little bit too is obviously like my junior year when you were going through your heart issues,
Right.
and we already it's well documented when you essentially passed out stretching at right before the game and before you
Right.
realized that your heart rate was on some astronomical numbers. I remember how it affected the locker room. So
exactly.
obviously, I'm guessing that you think that, what happened to
Yeah,
R2 definitely affected the
yeah.
locker room in the same way, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with it. That was well put. For me, like man, at this time of the year, it does not matter whatever you went through in the season. It's all about March. I just feel like I'm really concerned about the team. Like how they will respond to this. I'm just kind of lost for words because people think about basketball, man, but I think about the person, and for him to go as hard as he did all year to put it all on the line and just have a freak accident happen, man. I wish him well on a speedy recovery, and it'd be interesting to see how others step up. I mean, you already lost Sharif, he was another spark, towards the team, and then you have another floor general that's down. So, I lean on Alex O'Connell to do a little bit more. We're going to need a lot from everybody, but I'm thinking about him. I'm thinking about his experience, and hopefully he can not necessarily put the team on his back, but definitely, pick up the slack that Ryan had.
What's crazy about it is the Jays, who have been high in turnovers essentially all year, only turned the ball over 8 times on Saturday. And as I think about the game and watching it again before I got ready for this podcast, it just kind of felt like the Jays missed some shots. They had some open looks that they missed, some shots around the basket that just wouldn't fall for them, not too many second chance points either. It just kind of felt like they just couldn't make enough shots to keep up with Providence. And obviously Providence, shouts out to them, they win the regular season title.
Right.
But for a team that turned it over so much, for them to only do it 8 times, I thought was actually a step in the right direction. They were able to get some of the shots that they wanted, it didn't fall.
And that's why I mentioned March, man, because at the end of the day, I got this saying that I always use. I always say 19-7. And I always say that because it takes me back to high school. When I went to Omaha Central, our record was 19-7 and we still won state. We weren't doing well around this part of the year. We lost 3 games in a row, but once it was tournament time, it's all about the camaraderie, how we were clicking in certain moments, and we carried that momentum into the tournament. And so I still feel like the Jays can have a 19-7 mentality. Obviously, with Coach Mack up there, he's going to will them the best he can, along with his assistant coaches. But the guys they got. I'm an optimist, so you got an extra bit of fuel to add to the fire of your success. Playing for Ryan now, you gotta find some way to win. So
right,
I think they can do it. It's just all about their mind over the matter.
Before we move on to the next topic, let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at BetRivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with BetRivers yet, now's the time because they're offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one playthrough to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Pay instant approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With basketball season tipping off, get in on the action by going to BetRivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call telephone number 1-800-GAMBLER.
So they got 2 home games left to end the Big East regular season. Got UConn on a Wednesday. They got Seton Hall on Saturday, and then right into the Big East tournament next weekend.
Right.
2 big-time games. What do you think the boys need to kind of adjust from their loss on Providence in order to get 2 big-time victories? If they're able to win both those games, they solidify their 3rd place in the Big East standings when they were preseason ranked number 8 or number 9, if I'm not mistaken. So what do you think they need to do to make sure they get a dub?
They got to block everything else out. They got to play like they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I feel like, today, they're practicing today. I feel like they need to just have the approach that, we're going to disregard any and everything that happened all the way up to the point this season, dwell off of the positive things that has happened, and just keep carrying the momentum that they have believing in each other. Don't get caught up in the media hype. Don't get caught up in the previous losses and all those things when it comes to the record. You got to play for now. As long as you got that one common goal in your mind, it does not matter what else happens.
Coach Mack in his post-game interview talked about like how big the Providence crowd was for Providence, understanding that moment. Like if we win tonight's game, we're going to be at least getting a share, or I think they already outright Big East regular season winners. And Coach Mack urged the Omaha crowd to make sure to be in attendance for Wednesday and Saturday because he understands the importance of like what a home crowd brings to the table.
Exactly.
You and I have both played in front of crazy Omaha crowds.
God, right.
I need to know what's one of the games that like kind of sticks at you at home when the crowd is going berserk, that like for whatever reason, like maybe it wasn't like the biggest game on the schedule, but you just remember maybe a moment or two that like the crowd went crazy, and I just want to know like what's your best memory of the crazy ass home crowd?
I got plenty, but I'm gonna be selfish today.
Yeah,
I had six in the overtime.
It's your podcast. Go ahead. It's your podcast.
I remember we played Evansville, man, and I had 6 points in the. Oh my God, we played against Evansville, and we went into overtime, and I had six big points in the overtime, and a go-ahead jumper to solidify the game. That was one moment. I can just remember every shot that I hit. I always look over to Coach Mack because I'm always shooting the shots when I want to shoot them. Not in the midst of our offense. And all I hear is his mouth doing this. Can't hear him because the crowd is so loud. I just get back on D, just nodding my head like I heard what he said. You know, like it was that loud. Also,
no, go ahead, Joe. Finish that thought because I'm laughing right now. I got so many memories of you that just popped into my head right now.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I feel like I have my own coach in my own head, you know. But also I remember how we sold out 75% of the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. It's just a testament to how Bluejay Nation is. I mean, you know, I'm always going to say something funny about a personal memory, but truthfully, I go back to that 75% of the arena sold out at the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. It was a home game for us. So as long as our fans still bleed blue like the way I know they do, we understand what's at stake. We just need the Bluejay Nation to mount up, man. We need to rally because we got Ryan down. We got everything at stake, man. We need our fans. We need our fans.
Bro, I'm laughing so hard because you were the king of the fans going, no. Yeah. So I remember when we was in the CBI final against Oregon at home when Coach Altman came back for the first time back to Omaha. And we were like up 7 or 8, I think, and we got an offensive rebound, a couple of minutes left. We're supposed to milk the clock down. The ball gets sold to you, and you said, "Hell no, I'm shooting this.
I'm shooting it." And to be hey,
put us up 11, and then like again, like the crowd pop. Like I know you and me were both wrestling fans growing up. Like
that
Stone
pop,
Cold, The Rock,
that
pop is everything,
I
bro.
know.
So once that ball goes through the hoop and you hear that pop. But this is the
thing I appreciate about our team. Y'all know I'm shooting that regardless.
Right. I started crashing the board.
I'm shooting it regardless, dog. And it's not. And the thing is, like, the fans learned to understand who I was, and I never did it from a malicious and selfish place. It was just that extra bit of confidence that I got, that I felt like that I just rose to the occasion in key moments to put everybody like on our side. I always did it at the right time. You know, I never did it out of turn.
I definitely remember that one. I remember against Northwestern the next year, same kind of situation. No, I remember Grant Gibbs got the offensive rebound, and like because he was like around a whole bunch of people, he just swung it out to you real quick.
Yeah, to start
and,
a
like,
ball.
Even Grant was like, "Hey, like, give me this ball back to slow down." And you just said, "Hell no."
Hey, this is how I know that I was the king of taking those ill-advised shots. We're in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament playing against Illinois State, and we're up trying to get the ball in, and I'm wide open, and Grant called a timeout. He didn't pass it to me, and I went off on him. Like, man, pass me the ball. He's like, don't shoot it. I was like, I'm not going to shoot it, bro.
Oh, I'm dead, bro. That's hilarious. That's so funny. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
when you was
funny.
talking about that just now, all those memories just popped back into my head, and I got a couple. Like I remember when we had UAB at home, and that was your game, bro. Like you
18 in a
that
row.
one, and then Boise as well. We ended up losing that game, but you had a really good game against Boise State at home. I
Yeah.
remember none of us, aside from you, like really play well. Aside from you, I mean, Doug always played well, but aside from
Doug
you
is
and Doug,
Doug.
no one else really
Right.
played well. But I just remember those
Yeah.
moments, bro. But that pop, like
Yeah.
we just talked about like the WWE feeling, like when you hear Stone Cold's
Oh
glass
my
shatter and
God.
he comes through the screen or whatever.
It,
What did that pop like mean to you? Like when you first hear it for something that you did?
it meant I told you, Coach Mac. It meant let me shoot that thing. Let me shoot the ball, bro. Cause like I've been running your offense all game.
Mhm.
And right now, honestly, I tell you
I
what,
got this
man.
shot right now.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where truthfully though, like I mean, I live for adversity, man. I've been through so much in my life, man. Truthfully, like when the stakes are on the line, man, I think that's where I'm at my best. And I just feel like my mindset, my mentality, my spirit just goes into a determination mode. And I don't even see the reality that others see. I only see the goal,
Mhm.
and I just react according to that moment, man. And it just ends up like that,
Yeah. I mean,
I guess it's
yeah,
Mamba mentality, right?
sometimes it be like that. He was your favorite player, bro. Hey, I need to ask you this because you had a pair of Kobe threes back in the day, the gray and the blue ones. I know they're out of commission, but do you still have it somewhere? Like, because
I
you were
do
really big about, you actually do, because you were
in
really
my
big about
basement.
whatever shoes you were done with, you would give them away or whatever, like give them
Yeah,
back to the people.
yeah,
But I remember like seeing those. I'm like, bro, you better keep those for a while for
yeah.
whatever. You're
I
like,
did keep those. Yeah, you know what the Mamba
actually,
means to me.
yeah,
Hey,
no.
hey, for those fans who don't know how much I love Kobe Bryant, um, Caleb Corver was on our team. I don't know, my sophomore year. I want to say, were you there or did you come the year after?
No, Caleb was my senior. So
Okay, all right, here you
Caleb,
go.
Kenny, Daryl, Wayne, Casey, those are my seniors.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
the fans will appreciate this. So we're at Illinois State, and Kyle comes to one of our practices, and is
Mhm.
after our shoot around, getting ready for the game, and Kyle walks up to me. I'm a huge Kyle Korver fan. I mean, luckily he's one of my friends, now. But when I first met him or whatever, I shook his hand. I was like, "Oh man, you my second favorite player behind Kobe, bro." And I think we got tight after that because
Yeah.
he couldn't believe that I said like the Mamba is number one. You
Right.
know,
But I
but
mean, it would kind of make sense growing up in Omaha, watching him play for the Jays right down the street from where you
for
grew up
sure,
at, basically.
exactly.
So, like, it makes sense for him to be the legend that he is and for you to,
He is.
like, have
He
this
is.
affinity for him.
Exactly. And just in the moment, I think all that clicked in my mind was, wow, you played against Kobe. Not even wow, that's Kyle Korver. I'm 19 years old, man. And I remember I said that. And I didn't even, and I was so innocently honest about it. I didn't even mean to say it. It just came out like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah, man, I love Kobe. I still got those shoes. They definitely in the basement, man. And man, they're gonna be down there until I can figure out what to do with them.
Bro, you better hold on to those forever, I promise you, because they don't be making those no more. So if I'm you, I'm holding on to them, even though I know you hooped in them, they're probably all beat up. Keep them,
Yeah,
bro,
they
because
are
they're
beat
never
up
gonna
for
make
sure.
those again.
Right.
Uh, so doesn't it kind of feel like this J season has flown by? Like I just mentioned, we're a week away from Big East tournament. Like, why is time flying by the older that we
Man,
get, or is
cause
that just
like
me?
honestly, man, time flies when you're having fun. As I
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
that Valley Conference tournament champion flag behind you, man, like
You know
I
what
just
year
think
this
of
was too, right?
yes. It's a statistic that people don't recognize. We led for all but 48 seconds of that entire tournament. That is how,
Really?
yes, we did.
What
That's
was the
how
48 seconds?
Wichita State scored first, and then they never led again.
Oh, dominance, bro.
Yes. Like, listen, man, credit to the fans, credit to our team.
Mhm.
Like, time flies when you're having fun, man. And so, that's why I felt for Ryan, just going back to the Jays and his injury. Like, I mean, he was playing with all world confidence, man. Like win or lose, like that kid always leaves it on the floor. And for that to happen, man, like, we got to rally behind him. So we definitely need our fans to come out. We definitely need our players to step up. And, I believe in Coach. I think Coach Mack, definitely hell of a coach. I think we can figure this out.
Easy money. We have a hell of a summer to look forward to. Speaking of a hell of a coach, we got TBT coming up to Omaha this summer, bro. And I remember when we was in Wichita, like how cool of an experience it was. And you and I were having conversations about like, man, we need to get this to Omaha. And you were like really trying to spirit it, like, hey, like it's gonna happen.
Right.
I was thinking like maybe a couple of years down the line after like we establish ourselves a little bit.
But you talking to me.
You saw a bigger picture than I obviously did. So
yeah.
I kind of want to know for the fans who are curious, like what are some of the like stuff that was happening in the backgrounds that really like helped you not only convince them that Omaha would be a good place to host, but for them to actually pull the trigger and be like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're going to be in Omaha this summer.
Yeah, right. First, I got to give some credit to definitely Michael Vandervoort.
Vandy, my guy.
Yep, manager Mike. He's on the sidelines. Definitely Coach Ice, our assistant coach or whatever, and helping me in this process. But it is beyond like work. Like if there was another word for work, that's the word for it. I need a thesaurus right now. But truthfully, the process is tough because not only do you have to get the buy-in from our university to see that is worthwhile to be a part of it, you also got to prove to TBT that your city actually has a big enough fan base for people to come out and support you guys playing. It's a lot that goes into it. So for me, I had to reach out to all my former friends and teammates, trying to get them on board. I had to simultaneously talk to Creighton and explain to them that we have an opportunity to I had to sell it as an opportunity for our alumni to come together for an alumni weekend. Also have to think about what else is going on campus at that particular moment in time that coexists with ESPN hosting their dates on TV. Also talk to the TBT and explain to them about how big our fan base is and what it would mean for this opportunity to be in Omaha. What helped me sell this opportunity was I've started 3 years even before we even got to play in the TBT. I was sitting on the couch watching the TBT. I think I had a conversation with yourself, Grant Gibbs, Justin Carter, just talking to a few of our friends, from our brotherhood, just like, hey, man, we need a team. From there, Grant Gibbs actually had just got his head coaching job for the Oklahoma City Blue. And I said, hey, you're a coach. If I can pull off an opportunity like this to put a team in, would you be interested? And Grant said, well, I'm sure I'll be well busy with being a head coach or whatever, but here goes the generic email for TBT. So he sent me the generic email from TBT, and I immediately sought out to them, just talking to them about how I was interested in starting the team. They immediately called me back and said, hey, we've been trying to get Creighton in since the beginning. So that is what it was in our favor. So from there, they said, we're open to get you guys in as long as you can have a certain criteria of Creighton Bluejays that'll play, but also depending on how you perform in the tournament and also how the timing of university works happen on campus with the timing. If things work out for you and you actually win a game, we'll bring it to Omaha. So the whole time, that if you think back to our practice, you wonder why I was pressing you so much. You was wondering why, because we were playing for the opportunity to actually have TBT come. But just summing it up, man, a lot of simultaneous works with TBT, the university, and it helps that we coincidentally played against the Shockers. You know,
I mean, of course they line it up that way. Like, I don't care what anybody says, man. They
no,
line it up for us to
they
have that
did.
game, and it's fine. But I just wish, like, I thought about this in the NCAA tournament. Like, I'm gonna think about it with this upcoming tournament too. Like,
We
with the
should have been 4
storylines that they
seed
try
in
to,
that tournament when we played North Carolina. I know, man.
bro,
We were
when
7th seed and should have been the 4th seed.
when I think back about like some of the seedings that we got and all that stuff, like, just come out and admit that you're trying to build the story. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
don't pull our chain, talk about like, oh no, like you guys are an 8 seed. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear it one bit. All I want to know is that, like, just be truthful with me that like you was just trying to make sure that we played Doug versus Harrison Barnes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just be truthful with me.
And that's how the narrative went for us.
Yeah.
Once TBT seen the reaction to that game, how the viewership of that game, Big Shot Biggs, Deverell Biggs from Omaha Central, hitting that shot, and us going number 1 on Sports Center. They did their research and found out how big the rivalry was, and immediately they just took. I'm not saying they didn't take me serious before, but usually that process is a lot longer. But that was expedited because of the hype around the game.
Yeah. Well, that's big time. I'm so happy to be like, I've always kind of dreamed about what would it feel like to be playing in Omaha on campus one more time. I'm definitely going to get that feeling this summer.
Wow.
So I'm dummy excited about it.
Tickets are on sale right now, July
make sure
16th through 19th. We're going to play on the women's in the women's arena on at the DJ Sokol arena.
DJ Sokol.
Yep. And if you're wondering about the teams that'll be involved, we're going to have a in-state rivalry from Creighton, Nebraska. We're going to have Kansas schools. We're going to have Chicago schools. We're going to have Iowa schools, and maybe a few more fly in that you love to watch us compete against as the Jays. So you got to be there. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Tickets are on sale right now. Ticketmaster.
I'm gonna give you another chance to say all of that again at the end of it, but I'm glad that you mentioned all of that. As a coach, this was the first time that you were introduced to the Elam ending as far as like participating. I know you knew what it was before. This is the first time Creighton fans who were paying attention last summer got a chance to understand what Elam ending is. I actually had a chance to play in Elam ending in the Canadian Elite Basketball League the summer prior to playing in TBT. What's your take on the Elam ending? They've introduced it now for the All-Star game in the NBA. It makes things just a little bit more exciting, obviously, which every game ends in a game-winning shot. I want to know your honest perspective as like a fan, a former player, and then I want to know about your perspective as a coach going through it. Like, what are some of the things that you like learn has to change? Like, what is your strategy going into an Elam ending?
Good question. Well, the thing I like about the Elam ending is it's not just about every game ends on a game winner. It's more so about you gotta every possession matters because you have to have a target score. How it works is you play and then all of a sudden you get to, I want to say, is it the fourth quarter, under 4 minutes? And there's
under
a target.
4 minutes in the fourth quarter, then there's a target. I think it was +9. Whoever the leading scorer was had to win or score 9 more points in order to win the game.
Exactly. I think that I love that model, and the United States of America should adopt that for all basketball from high school varsity all the way up to the NBA. One, from an entertainment standpoint, fans love to see competition. And what better way to compete when everything matters? I mean, if you think about it from a player standpoint, you play in these games and you just approach the whole game different. Like right now, if I dwell back to the times that I played, when we played at Creighton, when we prepared for games, we were trying to win segment by segment or possession by possession with the intentions of winning a segment. And we knew that strategically, we would have to game plan and adjust accordingly for the long haul of the game. With the Elam ending, every single possession matters because at the end of the game, it adds up to a plus on the leading team with a target score. So it just makes the games more competitive. It makes the strategy a lot different, and it makes for a good basketball game. I love the Elam ending.
It makes for a hell of an exciting basketball game for sure.
It does.
And like you just mentioned, like it feels like, especially in the fourth quarter, if the game is anywhere close, every single possession matters. You really see teams like own in
Right.
on, okay, what do we need to get done
Hey,
for
could
this
you
particular
imagine if the
possession?
NCAA tournament had 64 teams and every single game was tied until the last second shot?
That's
Right?
pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah, that is the approach and the excitement behind the tournament, and that's pretty much what TBT is. I love the Elam ending. It was, I think, looking back on our loss to Wichita State, what I won't do again is set ball screens when the Elam ending, because now it takes you back to your childhood when you're thinking about that 5, 4. You just got to go make a play. You know, like moving forward, we will end our games on making a play. If it's literally about game winner, it's me versus you, mano a mano. I score, you lose. That's what it is.
Bro, that is such an insight on your mentality. There's
Yep.
no other option. I
Yep.
score, you lose.
Hey, now looking back on it, the Elam ending was in my brain when I played for Creighton. You know, those Northwestern games.
I guess, yeah. I score, you lose. They know if ands or buts about it.
That's it.
What I like about it is that teams just can't sit on leads. You know, that's what kind of makes basketball a little bit boring at the end. So if you're up 4 with like a minute left, like you would want to like hold on, waste the entire shot clock and all that stuff, and really you just let time take care of itself. But in the Elam ending, you still got to go get a bucket no matter what.
You got to go play. Exactly.
That certainly makes it a little bit more exciting. We had a hell of a shot. You mentioned big shot bigs, Deverell Biggs making that crazy corner banking 3, and you saw all of us rush him. But then on the other flip side of that, like we had Wichita steal the ball and score a layup and ended the game like that. So for me, obviously, because I play more traditional basketball as the year goes on, I play Elam in the summer. Like I kind of wish in that Wichita example that it was more traditional, so we had one more shot at it, you know. But hey, so again, like sometimes it goes like that, where you know what, that's the rules that we signed up to play under, and you just kind of have to accept the rules of the playground at that point.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, I would say Elam. I would say Elam ending in the championship games only. You know. I love, don't get me wrong, I love Elam ending, but I love traditional basketball for sure. I like the game the way it is, but I think the Elam ending shall be thrown in at some point on all levels. That is what I'm saying.
I hear you, bro. It felt like we just talked about it, like that Wichita game. I felt like we had it in our hands and it just kind of slipped out. You already kind of talked about some of the changes that you would do. I want to know your gut feeling, obviously, as a coach. Like, I know, like, that reaction that you had because I was in the locker room with you. But, like, if you were a player suited up in that point in time, how do you think that moment would have made you feel?
Oh, man. From a player standpoint, I think that well, first of all, I mean, there's 2 perspectives. One perspective is when it happened to me as a player, there'll be a lot of damage in the locker room. Like I'll be flipping tables and all of that because the drive of the Elam ending makes you want to win that much more. That's how much I'm crediting the Elam ending figuratively, but literally as a player in that moment. I think it takes the life out of you, man, because if you think about the story in the narratives, you think about the Wichita State versus the Creighton, everything can be questionable, man. I just honestly feel like we played well enough and we executed well enough to win that game. And there were opportunities where I feel like whistles could have been blown. You know, I don't like to leave it in the ref's hands. I'm a believer in you. If you play the best, you know, leave it all on the floor, it'll work itself out. But I feel like that's what the officiating is for. So it's an asterisk behind that loss to me because I'm just not at peace on how 2 possessions before there were no fouls called in those moments. So from a coach standpoint, that's how I feel. From a player standpoint, if I can do anything else again, I feel like I would never, I guess I can only speak from a coach's perspective. I wouldn't have put our team in a position to go off of any ball screens because they wouldn't have an opportunity to double the trap. So I blame myself on a coaching perspective. I think our players did everything that we could do. It wasn't about missing or making shots. We played to the flow of the game all the way up until that moment. And I put it on myself as a coaching error. If I hadn't, I would feel better if we went one-on-one, missed a shot, and they got it and then scored, versus have 2 no calls and then 1 trap and a turnover for a layup.
Right.
That's the best way to sum it up.
You had like a crazy dynamic as a coach. You got to coach a bunch of guys that you grew up with, played with or against in the Omaha community. I'm talking about G. Smith, obviously Dev.
Right.
And then the other aspect of like guys like me in Austin,
Yeah.
guys who you played with, and all of a sudden, like we were looking at you as a head coach, you're looking at us
I thought
as
about that.
players. What was that? I want to know, what was that dynamic like? And obviously, like the player-coach relationship, there's always going to be like some tension there, especially when things aren't going the right way and whatever.
Right.
What are some of the things that we could have done to make your job a little bit easier? And reflecting back, what are some of the things that you feel like, oh, I definitely needed to like learn this in this moment so that when we come back to Omaha, I could show myself to be a better coach, someone that has learned from this experience?
Understood. Well, first of all, I think I commend everybody that know me personally that was on our roster for the simple fact that you guys respected me enough to not just allow me to coach you. Like not one moment did I see you guys view me as your friend when we were practicing and playing. I was impressed. I was actually honored because I felt like you guys acknowledged that I knew the game enough to, you play professional basketball, and for me to be able to coach you makes me feel like that I am knowledgeable enough to relate from a professional level all the way down to an amateur level when it comes to critiquing and coaching. Personally, I feel like what you guys could do for me to help me better with my coaching experience is just come back, man. I feel like everything was perfect the way it was. You guys, whether I made the right choice or the wrong choice, you respected me as a coach and rallied behind me and helped me in those certain moments. Like there was a play that you personally drew up during the timeout that got us a big 3. Man, and the thing is, I felt like we were all players again. It's like we all are thinking on the same wave and level. So I just handed you the clipboard because we were all in it together. Like it wasn't like here, like let me do this. You don't know what you were doing. It was more so we were all thinking together. And in that moment,
we knew we wanted to take a 3, and it's just we were trying to figure out what set or what could we do to get an open 3. So
exactly,
I appreciate that you had the trust in me too, that you were just like, yo, what you thinking of? What should we do?
Yeah, because I literally deferred to you in that moment. And because the thing is with the TBT, that what makes it different from from my perspective, from me coaching versus me coaching at an actual collegiate program or a professional program is the environment and energy that I'm trying to bring is more so a player-coach relationship, not necessarily a head coach opportunity for myself. I try to, if you notice with a guy like me, I try to get a group of guys that mimic my character. They play hard, they're all in, and they leave it all on the floor. We're not really looking for it'd be cool going between the legs, dunking and all that type of stuff. But I can only teach passion. And I feel like everybody on our roster had the same heart, the same passion that I had. And it made it easy for the culture to be set. So I didn't feel like my job was too hard. And also when it came to organization and brains, we had Coach Ice there. Coach Ice is a head assistant basketball coach. He kind of balanced that temperament in the room, and he gave me a lot of insight, and we deferred to him whenever there were certain opportunities. So I think the energy was perfect for our coaches.
What should the Creighton fans expect when they're gonna, pay their ticket? Like you said, Ticketmaster, tickets are on sale right now. When they're gonna pay the hard-earned money to come watch us play this summer, with it being in Omaha. what should the fans expect about Omaha Blue Crew, Creighton affiliated TBT squad once they pay their ticket, get through the turnstiles, and watch the team play this upcoming summer?
Uh, imagine your fan favorite Jays' best moments when you were watching them play at the CHI Health Center. Now, also imagine Josh Jones being himself. And you put that all into a ball.
What a recipe.
What a recipe for entertainment and very competitive Bluejay basketball, right? You know, just an opportunity of entertainment. I mean, aside from the way that we do it, from our culture of Bluejay Nation always showing up and showing out and supporting our own, you're going to get an opportunity to see other star-studded players that you either watch on TV or watch your Jays compete against. So why not come see an opportunity where you get to see basketball at its finest? And it's like a professional alumni tournament, to be honest with you.
I mean, that is what it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's a professional
alumni
tournament.
Yeah,
everybody that is on each roster across the board either plays at a NBA G League level or at some high level abroad. Everybody. So it's very competitive, and it's everybody just getting extra reps in the summer. Like, I credit the TBT a lot because they put together something that allowed the professional basketball players to get a competitive rep over the summer. Cool experience. You know, you get to travel some more, get to be with your family and friends. You know, for us as Creighton, you know, we get to have an alumni weekend. You get to see your Doug McDermott's, your Kyle Korvers, your Anthony Tollivers, your other, favorite alumni players. And man, we just enjoy the weekend. It's going to be a great moment. Home cooking, home crowd.
Hopefully, home rest.
Right. We not like Wichita State, man.
I'm playing, but hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's how I felt at Wichita. Like, am I allowed to say it? Am I gonna go to ESPN?
I'll tell you
guys
this, though.
watching?
Check this out. Everybody talks about how amazing the Wichita State arena and fans are, right? I didn't hear a single shocker cheer until the last moments of that game. That's how much control we had.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We had, bro. I mean, it's all we can't dwell on the past no more. We got a chance to make it up this summer for sure. I don't want to kind of put you on the spot. Obviously, I am very interested because I do want to keep giving the fans, you know, a little bit more to look forward to. If you don't have commitment from these players, I don't need you to go out and say that they're going to play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but what Creighton, former Creighton players should we look forward to maybe being on the team, maybe potentially being on the team? And again, like, I don't want you to say like such and such is going to play and then they don't show up and then fans are upset or whatever.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I know that you've been cooking and you've been working on trying to get guys to come back and really be involved with this process. So who you got on the roster so far, if you're allowed to say it?
Hey, I'll say this first to all the fans out there. Who do you want to see play? Send them a tweet, DM on Instagram, mention them in the Instagram comments. You know, who do you want to see play? But as we say that, I'll give you a few names. Obviously, you got yours truly, number 12, my guy, Jahenns Manigat, playing, coming back for a second year. Also, I'm excited about this one. I feel like this will be a come out season. I think when he was in college, he really didn't get that opportunity to really show the full potential of who he is. But Wayne Reynolds will be back. You know, he didn't get a chance to play last year because
he was supposed to. Yep.
Yeah, but he was playing in a TBL league where I feel like I think his team actually won the title.
They won the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean Wayne is a man child. You know, I'll say that for sure. Wayne has been playing his fair share of basketball post college. You know, also we got Austin Chapman coming back again. You know,
A1.
Yeah, you know, he was great with the handles. really great floor general. And then I'll give you one more. You got Josh Jones. I'm coaching the team again. I got more names. I got some names. I want to, like I said, you do your diligence and you seek out to those you want to see. Maybe they're on the team, maybe they not. We got more names. I just want to give you a few.
That's the thing too, is like, I know, like, you obviously are working all the time to make sure you get this thing cracking the way that it's meant to be cracked. You know what I mean? So I didn't feel.
We could have Anthony Tolliver. I mean, we couldn't. You just never know.
Hey, I don't want to mess up the potential of it happening. You know what I mean? So like, that's why I said, if you have commitment from these guys already, for sure, we'd love to know who. I would love to know who my teammates are personally, but obviously the fans who are just more and more on the fence of, hey, like, will it be worth it? Trust me, guys, it'll be worth it. Like, with the people that we're trying to get on the roster, I promise you, like, you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck for sure. Before I let you go, bro, it'd be hard pressed for me to have this whole interview with you and not talk about the stuff that you're doing in the community. Like, this is one of the things that I love the most about you. Ever since, I mean, even before you were forced out into retirement, unfortunately, because of your heart issues. Even before all that, you was deep in the community as a student athlete, or like always trying to give back, always trying to organize things in order to, like, this is how I really got in touch with the North Omaha community. And that's how I got ingratiated in the community, was through you. So what are some of the endeavors that you've been taking a part of in the last year, in the last couple of years, that, like, obviously you still lend a hand at, that you help fundraise for? What are some of the things that, like, as Creighton fans, as me as a pro, that we could, donate to, give back to in any way, shape, or form?
Right. I think my latest, and I won't say greatest, but one of my latest projects now, I'm actually the director of sports development, a part of a group called Community Health Development Partners. What we're doing is building a 100, I think it's maybe 100, I'll just say $100 million plus recreational wellness campus in the inner city community. It'll be off of Martha Street, between 24th and Martha and Vinton Street. It's going to be an opportunity just for the inner city in general. We're going to bring together North and South Omaha communities on 25 acres of land. From a sports perspective, since we're talking sports, I am in charge of developing basketball, also football, track, soccer, volleyball. We're going to do rugby. We got golf simulators, and in a skate park, a full-on skate park. So those are the sports that I'm in charge of outreaching and developing. It's not just an inner city opportunity. It's open to anybody within the state of Nebraska, city of Omaha, that's interested. We also have other buildings that are doing things such as the wellness side, such as mental health, partnering with the University of Nebraska Medical Center, for stuff there. Just a one-stop shop for opportunity for wellness in the inner city. If you're interested in seeing more about it, you can definitely go to communityhdp.com, communityhdp.com, and you can find out all about it. We would love for, just everybody to get more interested about it. We did a press release in the public not too long ago, but I'm excited, man, because it has been my dream to have a one-stop shop opportunity for our inner city youth, and families first, but definitely, I love the city of Omaha, state of Nebraska as a whole, but just another place and opportunity. So that's my latest project that I'm doing, and I look forward to developing that part of the community.
That's big time, Brody. Like, you always surprise me with some of the stuff that you're able to do. Some of the plans that you kind of latch onto and help accelerate. Obviously, like we talked about, your drive to bring TBC to Omaha in one summer, essentially.
One summer?
And now you're doing it. And now you're doing it in the community in a big time manner, bro. Obviously, super proud of you. Any way that I can help, you already know I'm one phone call away, I'm one text away, bro. Just let me know.
Yeah. One great thing I'll say from a professional athlete's perspective that we got, I am personally designing a training facility for our professional athletes that are honed and housed in this city to have a place to come back. I mean, obviously Creighton got the state of the art facilities for our basketball program and stuff, but we're just extending the opportunity to. We got Terrence Crawford. You know, he's the welterweight boxing champion of the world.
Champion of the world
From North Omaha. You know, got to put that in there. But definitely, like, we got so many professional athletes, but we also have professionals at life is what I call it. You know, we got our future doctors, future lawyers, future presidents. You know, we might have a female president in the future that might come from the inner city Omaha community or just Omaha in general. You never know. So this opportunity with the community health development partners to have our own campus, you know, to house opportunities for wellness for the community is huge, man. So I look forward to, you know, sharing that opportunity.
Yeah, bro, let's make it happen, bro. You already know I'm 110%.
Right.
Before we sign off, you know, I like to give you the floor. We just talked about your community outreach. Is there anything else that you'd like to add on to that, or anything that you'd like to say to the Jays fans, the TBT Jays fans, like before we sign off?
Yeah, I'll say this, man. I appreciate you guys keeping the legend of Josh Jones alive. It started as
Keep
a joke.
Alive, baby. Keep five alive, baby.
It started as a joke, being the three-time state champion, the only three-time state champion on our roster from all 5 years of my playing days. But it ended up being a legacy, and I couldn't do that without you guys just getting behind me as I try to do what I can to support the community. I love Bluejay Nation, and like you said, Jay, keep five alive, man. That's actually one of the shirts we'll be selling on our Jay's TBT summer brand. So, you know, keep five alive, man. You know, the legend continues, man. Appreciate it.
I hear you, bro. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Philly 68 Media Network. I appreciate you guys so much. I've been your host, Jahenns Manigat, aka 12. This was my guest, Jay Jonesy. Jonesy, don't make me get Murph after you, bro. Murph again after you now. 6'2" Jonesy, 5 Jones, bro. You already know what it is. Appreciate you, bro. Love you, bro. Let's get a dub this summer, man. Let's make it big time.
Why not? Let's get a dub. The current Jays too, man. We rooting for y'all.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we have to mention that UConn on Wednesday, Seton Hall on Saturday. Locking that third seed in the Big East Tourney, man. Y'all are doing good. As alumni, as I could speak for Josh on this one, we're definitely proud of you guys and the work that you put in this year. And don't forget, you have a teammate that's gone down that I know you guys are going to be fighting for as well. So, crowd, come out and support the Jays. We're going to be doing it from where we are. I'm in Poland right now, so I got to do my due diligence. I'm sure you're going to be in the building. I feel like you're
come on, man.
Be in the building.
Ain't no question. Ain't no question.
So, boys, bring it home, man. We're so proud of you guys, and keep doing what you're doing. And this is us signing off. So, as always, I'd like to say once again, thank you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay safe and go Jays.